calls for help across the country. The president now ramping up the federal response for medical supplies.
In the early stages of the coronavirus pandemic, the government scrambled to find enough protective gear.
At a worsening situation as doctors and nurses try to save lives, increasingly without the protective gear and equipment they need.
Masks, gowns, and gloves are running critically low.
A shortage of respirator face masks has sparked a global race to fulfill those orders.
Weeks later, a closer look at federal contracts revealed the U.S. government turned to some unlikely partners to deliver.
We make a lot of snow globe for one of our customers. We have probably about 75 snow globes.
Central Oregon-based Clark Collection supplies gift shops with custom items like Texas memorabilia.
The wine glass for Austin, Texas, yeah.
Mini replica buildings.
See, that's their Capitol building. See, this one we made the
and themed merchandise from the Hunger Games.
Provided them about 30 products for their show. See, we made this for Smithsonian Museum.
This small business operating out of a warehouse in Prineville had never worked with the government before.
Do you have any KN95 masks in the box?
Yes, we have some down here.
And had no prior experience acquiring medical products.
They've got a couple of boxes for people.
Yet in April, it applied for and received a $1 million contract with the U.S. Bureau of Prisons to provide KN95 masks.
We don't do this on a grand scale. We've never been the grand scale importer of 500,000 pieces of anything.
So how did this first-time contractor pull it off?
That's what we do. Source products, in China. So
Clark Collection and its sister company Original Source were uniquely positioned with an existing supply chain and staff in China.
We have employees that we can send to the factory, watching the production, making sure everything's okay, packaging-wise, shipping mark-wise, everything, make sure everything's, is good.
The company quickly shifted from delivering boxes of custom giftware to KN95 masks.
We weren't selling a dream. We weren't selling a wishful solution. We have been importing and manufacturing in Asia for over 20 years. And it's that footprint that allowed us to do this.
This case illustrates a new medical supply chain where the government raced to find and deliver vital protective equipment during the COVID-19 public health crisis.
I'm not surprised.
Trevor Brown is a professor of public management at Ohio State University.
If you open the box across the country, you'd see a lot of states that are now doing business with firms, first off, that they've never done business with before, and second, that have never been in the medical supply business before.
A review of federal procurement data by ProPublica found not every deal has worked out. First-time contractors without competitive bidding or a thorough vetting of their backgrounds left the government empty-handed or delivered subpar protective equipment. The co-owner of Clark Collection explained those opportunists probably underestimated the logistics.
That is exactly what we are not.
Clark Collection said while it's pleased to have delivered the full order of masks to the federal government, the company is ready to go back to what it knows best.
This is actually a really great piece.
Gift shops.
It's really impressive, actually. The fact
Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
Really impressive.
Well, if you have a story idea for Kyle to investigate, you can give him a call at 503-226-5041, or you can email callkyle@kgw.com.